People have been asking me for advice on productivity, especially if they know me already, because they know that I'm not usually like this. I'm not a hard worker. I'm not very disciplined. I have average motivation at best. I didn't study for longer than 3 hours for any exam in my entire life, honestly. And yet, in the last 2 months, I've been waking up at 6:30 a.m. every single morning, doing productive work until 9:30 p.m. and leaving 9 hours for sleep every single night. That means no video games, no Netflix, no pointless scrolling on my phone, just productive work all day. And I've even enjoyed it. Want to know how I did it? Send me £5 on PayPal and I will tell you. Nah, I'm joking. I made a timetable and I got addicted to it. I set out my daily activities from the exact moment of waking up to the point that I go to bed. So we have my morning routine of exercise, meditation, and writing a letter of gratitude, followed by 3 hours of YouTube video creation, and then some time for my little business on eBay, a block for mental health in which I research symptoms and better understand my brain or use it as another meditation practice, and then I have another account for YouTube time for my second channel, and so on. You can read it on screen now. So I wrote out this timetable and looked at it for as long as possible. Anytime I was walking somewhere, waiting for something, I was reading through this timetable. After a week or so, I knew it off by heart and my behavior became somewhat automatic. Like, I didn't need to think about what productive thing to do. I just did it because it was normal. I couldn't not do that thing without the thought that I was missing that block of time. It kept the right amount of internal pressure on me and helped me overcome the distractions of modern life. I remember how well timetables organized our lives in school. Like, you just knew it was maths after science and then design technology on a Wednesday. Timetables work really well. That's why schools and even workplaces use them across the entire world. The power of a consistent schedule is immense. And I even have proof that it's the schedule, this timetable, that caused the consistent productivity in my life. I didn't follow the timetable for the last few mornings because I've been changing up my exercise routine. And I actually missed 2 days of gratitude letter writing because I messed up my schedule. Kind of disappointing, but I've fixed that now and it's something that I can improve on. Before setting the schedule, I always wanted to work hard. I just never knew where the time went. It would be 8 a.m. when I'd wake up, and then suddenly it's 2 p.m. I would do what felt like a whole hour of work, and it would be 2:05. I'd take a 10-minute break, and suddenly it's 8 p.m. This was because I wasn't keeping track of the time. I was letting the hours of the day slip by instead of assigning those hours to the work that I wanted to do. Over time, I've been adjusting my timetable to better fit my goals. I recently added the body health section. This is where I focus on improving my joints, stretching and strengthening areas that are causing me some issue, like my knees. It's fantastic that my days are so organized that I get to prioritize the things that matter the most. My life and health is literally benefiting from this timetable. So if you want to implement this, just write out your timetable. Include all of the things that matter to you. Make it realistic and somewhat flexible so that you can use it for the long term. And then become addicted to it. Read it 1,000 times until you know exactly what activity is at what time. It helped me significantly and I'm pretty sure it would help anyone else achieve their goals. I was going to end the video right there, but I thought about it and concluded that I had to mention a major life change that I've made that has also led to a massive increase in productivity. I've been doing a long-term dopamine detox. You've probably seen it in some of my previous videos. So what even is a dopamine detox? This is where you replace the easy, comfortable habits that don't really give you any kind of benefit towards your goals. So things like Netflix, video games, social media. In this dopamine detox, I focused on drastically reducing these activities whilst increasing the delayed gratification activities. Now, you've heard me talk about instant and delayed gratification. This is massive. I couldn't have had this 2-month productivity increase without removing the distractions first. As I said, I always wanted to do hard work. I think literally everyone feels the same way. It's just that I wouldn't do the hard work because I had more easy, fun, comfortable activities to do instead. Why try and perfect my homework to a high level when I can do it quickly and go play RuneScape instead? Cutting out these distractions through a long-term dopamine detox leads to more productivity. And that's scary. I was playing video games and scrolling on Instagram rather than setting up my life for success, fulfillment, and happiness. These easy, comfortable habits led me to a life that I was not happy with. A life without the achievements that I wanted. I don't think people are comfortable admitting this, but I am. Those comfortable habits led to an easy but depressing life. And you must know that an easy life is a boring life. Hard work and challenges lead to the rewards that make life worth living. I could go on a massive rant that social media and video games are leading to the addictions that literally every single one of us has, and that is the reason why major mental illnesses are rising. But that's not something we're allowed to talk about. If we ever mention this addiction to easy dopamines, even trying to help other people, you're seen as the bad guy. The people with the addictions will turn hostile to you. These are the people who outwardly say that they're depressed. They outwardly say that they're not happy in life and that they lack the achievements that they want. These are the people I love. I want to help them. And yet they will fight this idea. They will fight what I'm saying. That potentially, just potentially, the 4 hours of Twitter scrolling, the 8 hours of Netflix are causing the lack of fulfillment and life happiness. They will fight that idea because people defend their addictions. That's part of the addiction cycle. It takes a lot of effort to convince someone that their addiction is actually a problem. Even though they genuinely believe it is, they will tell you that it's a problem and you show them the solution to that problem and then they will think that you're the devil. Wait. How can you say that my 8 hours of social media is a problem? If you watch this far, I'm guessing you agree with me. I'm guessing all of the people that I'm talking about, those with these addictions, have already clicked off because of the short attention span that these addictions cause. They've clicked onto the next video, they're checking their phones all the way through. They were bored by the few minutes of me talking about something deep and potentially interesting. Why do you think that is? Why do you think some people cannot focus on the task at hand? Because of the easy dopamines. And all this links with productivity. That's why one episode on Netflix is no longer enough. That is why there is not one single person who considers themselves a gamer who plays just 1 hour a day. The more you do these things, the more you need to do these things. It's like a drug that you build up the tolerance and then you need more of that drug to get the same effect that you originally did. That means we're spending way more time on the easy dopamine activities, and that obviously leaves less time for the hard, productive work that leads to the life fulfillment that we all want. But this is a very sensitive issue. If you ever mention someone's drug use, someone's drug addiction, they will fight you. Of course they will, because you're critiquing their behavior, their substance abuse, their biology, their feelings, their personality. If you're critiquing that, even if they agree with you, they're just not going to be happy about it. Productivity, in my opinion, is just the actions, the amount of good quality work that you do that is in line and that will get you to those goals that lead to life fulfillment. So a productive habit is lifting weights in the gym, because that eventually leads to the life fulfilling goal of having a body that you're proud of. But then how do you help someone who isn't productive in that sense? Because when you tell them, okay, but to go to the gym, you have to take 1 hour out of Netflix, they will fight you. They will look at you like you're crazy. Like, how can you even suggest that? How can you suggest for me to not watch Netflix and go to the gym? Are you crazy? That's how they'll look at you. It sounds kind of bad, but then should we not compare these people to crackheads, to full-on people who are addicted to substances? Because if you said the same thing to them, they would agree and, oh yes, whatever drug they're taking, like spice or whatever, is bad for me. But if you try and take that away from them, they will literally fight you. It is an addiction. It doesn't matter what substance you're addicted to. It is literally just an addiction. We get addicted to anything. I feel like I'm ranting, but I do believe this all leads into productivity. It's these addictions that you have to stop. And it sounds like we're all being part of Alcohol Anonymous, whatever the program is called, but admitting it is the first step. You need the confidence to say, I have a problem, I have an addiction, because if you can't even do that, you haven't even started solving it yet. Someone commented that on one of my previous videos, and I acknowledged that that was the first initial step. You can't better something if you don't have something to better. And you have to say this, you have to say, I'm addicted to social media, I'm addicted to video games. If you don't have the confidence to say that, you will not ever reduce them through your own actions. Maybe you'll be lucky with some kind of life circumstance that takes you away from the video games because you found like a new passion. I'll have a little card pop up on the screen right now. I made a video for how to quit social media and video games, and I can guarantee that it is not the same advice you've ever heard in your entire life. This is another thing. The advice out there to quit these things and to better yourself is not very good. It's not. A lot of the self-improvement advice is taken from people who don't even have problems in the first place. Like, if you're trying to quit a drug, trying to take advice from someone who has never done that drug is pointless. They can tell you whatever they want, they can make systems and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter. You need to hear it from someone who was addicted to that thing. And so that, hopefully the 100 people who are watching this right now, that is me. If you're addicted to social media, you're addicted to video games, I was. And I'm telling you what worked for me. And yes, someone can comment and say, oh, you know, but we're not all the same. What works for you might not work for someone else. But then try it though. Try it. Don't give any excuses if you haven't even tried the dopamine detox. If you haven't tried to actively quit or drastically reduce your intake of these easy dopamines, then you don't get to use that excuse that, oh, we're all different and you don't know what you're talking about mental illness. But have you tried it? It's one method. Try this method and then come back to me in 2 weeks. And you will come back to me and you will thank me. You will not come back and say that I wasted your time. Because for 2 weeks, you'll be bored. For 2 weeks, you won't play video games, you won't watch social media, you won't watch the news, you won't go on YouTube, we won't do all of the things that you're spending your time on, which means that you'll have the entire day for your real passion, for the things that you want to achieve. Suddenly, you'll realize how long the days are. Because the days are very long, and you'll realize how long those 2 weeks feel, because 2 weeks is a long time. It is for me, but I don't think it is for a lot of people, because the weeks just go fast when you're just wasting them. When you're spending 10 hours a day watching like a screen, the days go fast. So that's my secret to superhuman productivity. It's obviously not superhuman. This is what a normal human's productivity should be like. A dopamine detox, followed by techniques such as a timetable. Take care. If you had fun watching this video, I'll put my mental health playlist filled with similar videos for you to watch. Do me a favor and click on it right now.